Hello everyone, welcome back to another Rab Reacts. Now, this is a video that was sent to me by a family member, and I figured I would react to it because I haven't seen this in years. Years and years. In fact, I think the last time I seen it, I was around 12 or 13 years old, so that tells you how long ago it was. This is a recording of me and my band at the time, the Quinn Memorial pipe band in grade 2, as we were performing at the Ulster Championships. So this video itself, I don't know, is I can't really put it across just how kind of old this is, I guess. This is me in my grade 2 competing days. I was on tenor in this one, so that tells you it's very early on in my piping career. So I remember the following year I made the jump across onto the snare line. But this is the Ulster Championships back in the early 90s. This would have been like 91, 92-ish, something like that. So this was held in Portrush, and I remember this competition really well because the weather on the day was absolutely scorching. You'll see there's people's around all with their tops off, and they're all eating ice cream and stuff. They've had a really good time, but the competition itself was fierce in grade 2 that day. I think this band that we're looking at right now, these guys were a military band. I think they were the Four Scots, and they come over and competed in grade 2. I think they actually beat us that day in drumming, but they wore the full Highland kit, and it was absolutely roasting. And I felt so bad for these guys. They came off and they were nearly ready to drop. And then they were asked to go and play for drum majors straight after. So, as I say, this is a video of me way back in the early 90s competing in grade 2 on tenor. I was very young in this video, and you can clearly see me in this. But I also have other family members in here as well. So let's get into it. Enough of me talking. Let's hear the Quinn Memorial in grade 2 back in the early 90s at the Ulsters. That's them just finished.
From a band paying its first competitive visit to the port, we turn to one which is ever present come August each year, the Quinn Memorial from Killygullab in County Derry. Cecil Kenny is the man who wears those mythical stripes.
There you go. Can you spot me? There I am. Now, yeah, no criticism of the tenor drumming playing, of course, because it's very much of its time, I guess. You know, when you look back at early 90s, early 80s performances, they're very different from what they are now, especially in the flourishing department, I guess. Whenever I was flourishing here in tenor, it was all very much in front of me, you know? Whereas now, when people are flourishing, it's like way up, and they stretch their arms to the sky. But back then, not as much. It was more subtle. It was more in front of you. Different, see what I mean? Done in front of you rather than above you. Interesting.
The wearers of the MacLean of Duart tartan took us up to the line with a tune by the well-known Canadian piper Bob Worrell. He called it Dr. Gallic.
Oh dear, there I am. Okay, now I have to say, these were the first model of Andante drums, and I think the Quinn pipe band at that time, we were kind of at the forefront of picking these up. Yeah, so here we go. You have a snare, you have my tenor there, and the bass. We had a lot of issues with these. They were the very first off the factory floor, and we loved them. They were lightweight, sounded great, but we did have a little bit of issue. As you can see there with the bass drum, there's a lot of dampening in there going on, and especially on my tenor. You can have a look at the tenor head there. We experimented a lot. We found there was a serious amount of resonance with them, very boingy, if that's even a technical term. So we played around a lot, we experimented a lot, and that's something I kind of took from my time at the Quinn, is, being willing to try something and see if it works. Let's try an extra little layer of dampening here. Let's put a playing circle in the middle of it. Try and kill that tone and try and get, the in-between stage between bass and snare. We tried a lot of things. There you go. Those weren't the dainty little tenor mallets either. They were the big boys.
The experienced Ken Armstrong comes into focus as the Quinn Memorial switches to Trispace. Christine Campbell and Megan Irish.
His nickname was Red Ken. Love Kenny. He's
Yes,
such a good
it
guy.
was a day enjoyed by all members of the family. And keeping it in the family, that's Darren Mateer, the son of the band's long-serving tip, Winston Mateer.
No, that's Winston Mateer Jr. He got that wrong. There's Harry Bloomfield. Harry actually went on to be the pipe major of this band in later years. Went right over his shoulder here. Do you know, I still remember these drum scores. Even though it was all those years ago, I still remember them. There's my wee cousin Johnny Lennox.
Two favourite reels to follow. The pigeon on the...
Like, look at the crowd. Like, I'm stopping it here, but for good reason. This was Portrush competition, early 90s. And this was grade 2. This wasn't even grade 1. And I know I'm going to say it, I'm going to shout it out loud, but this was during the height of the Troubles, I guess. Well, part of the Troubles, I guess, you know. So in the 90s, when there wasn't, I don't know, there wasn't much else going on, I guess. Look at the crowd. Mad.
The gate, and once again, that poison dwarf.
There you go. That's a better shot of those Andante snares. Like, these were the first off the factory floor. And I remember us stepping out in competition with these, and yeah, we were kind of a tourist attraction. A lot of bands were very interested in these because at the time everyone was all playing either Premier or Legato. Do you remember the Legato ones? So yeah, the Andante snares, we had a lot of success with them. So, you know, given the big playing surface, and everything, and they're just so lightweight and the sound carried. Yeah, we loved these drums. I think that's a better shot of the tenor there. The amount of dampening we had to try to bring that resonance down. Anyway, I'm going to have to stop pausing it at this stage, aren't I? Let's get into it. There's Iris.
And apologies to Iris Gilmore for eavesdropping over her shoulder.
There you go. Oh, big close-up of yours truly. See what I mean about the flourishing being all in front rather than above?
The drummer seized the opportunity for a telling expression in the slow air, a border ballad.
I remember playing that, such a good tune. Dum 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 dum. Love it. I think this was my last competition on tenor, just now that I'm thinking. There we go, that's the back of my head. I was very young there.
Into jig mode. Firstly, with more hay in the kiln.
I was maybe 12, 13, something like that. A long time ago. I know that the break into our finisher, Shovel Tongue. Shovel Tongue's such a good tune. Like, you don't hear too much now. At least I think we finished with Shovel Tongue.
And secondly, something that's not usually a problem in County Derry, being scarce of tatties.
Yeah. I think our finisher that year was Shovel Tongue. And we played that for a few seasons. Such a good tune. I should know now. Right, I think it's Shovel Tongue. Yeah. I love this tune.
Another Murray Blair tune, dedicated to one of his drumming friends who boasted of a very large and strangely shaped tongue. Hence the title, Shovel Tongue.
Shovel Tongue.
Which
Such
brings
a
to
good
an end
tune.
a Quinn Memorial medley performance which took the band into third spot at Portrush.
It's weird. I remember the scores. And I played them all the next season. I think we actually... Yeah, I replayed with this tune for a good few seasons after
As
this.
the heat intensified, so did the crowd. to record proportions.
Woo! And that was the mighty Quinn. Go on, the mighty Quinn. Yeah, that was such a good time. I remember the crowd that day. It was huge. And the weather, especially. The weather was nuts. And we all wore jackets that day. I think that was part of the things under marching and deportment, that if you didn't wear your jacket, you lost points or something. That was the belief anyway. But I think we finished third that day. I think Rivara won the grades, and then that military band that we had earlier, they were second and we were third that day. Such a good competition, and it's good to look back at wee tiny young Rab, I guess. That was such a long time ago, but it's weird how you can still remember the old drum scores, you know? So yeah, shout out to Winston Mateer, the lead tipper of the Quinn. It was a huge influence on me, and yeah, I have some very happy memories there at the Quinn Memorial for sure. They're a band that always have a soft spot in my heart for sure. So yeah, that was me in grade 2 at like 12, 13 years old. There's not much other footage out there of me involved in the piping scene, I guess. I don't know. If you can find them, then send them in to us. bigrabshow@gmail.com and we'll get another Rab Reacts. But that's fun, looking back through the archives, you know? And that tune, Shovel Tongue. You don't hear Shovel Tongue played much now, but it's honestly a cracking good finisher there. So yeah, played that for a number of years. Very happy memories there. There you go. So that's it for Rab Reacts. And yeah, send us in your own clips. Yeah, bigrabshow@gmail.com. Or you can comment below wherever you're watching this. And yeah, we'll react to whatever clips you send in to us. There you go. That was a bit of fun. Thanks for watching, and we'll hopefully see you in the next one. All the best.